What I can tell you is this. Numerous coaches, black coaches, called me expressing how they took issue with that podcast taking place. And I think you know enough to know that that's true. Some of them felt very salty about that. We certainly are not blaming J.J. Redick. You got your podcast. Maverick Carter approaches you about doing this idea. Who the hell would? I jump at the opportunity.
Wait, can I pause you on that? They were salty because he chose to do a podcast with a white guy, or because it hurt Darin Ham?
Because it hurt Darin Ham.
Okay.
Because it hurt Darin Ham. So any of us would do a podcast with LeBron James. Anybody who says otherwise, that they wouldn't do a podcast with LeBron James, is lying through their damn teeth. I know I would. I know you would. I know Wendy would. I know anybody would. That would be an honor for us because he's one of the greatest who have ever played, and he's a basketball savant. So we're not faulting JJ in any way for doing the podcast or for the content on the podcast with LeBron James. But at some point in time, we do have to do this, Jay. As I said to Wendy last week, we have to remember the things that we've said about LeBron James as it pertains to his brilliance, as it pertains to controlling a narrative, as it pertains to being 2, 3, 5 steps ahead of others in terms of what you're plotting and what you're planning and what have you. And then that'll raise an antenna. We knew before the podcast ever started that Darin Ham was on a hot seat. We knew this. Now, in fairness to LeBron James, when the news came out, hell, we celebrated it right here on this show. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be great. It's mind the game. They're talking the game. I mean, they're talking basketball. This is fantastic. I mean, J.J. Redick's a brilliant basketball mind. LeBron James, we know what he is. No problem. But as the podcast gained steam, and then the spotlight became more magnifying for Darin Ham, and then you saw an Anthony Davis after game 2 against Denver talk about how lost and, you know, we just weren't on the same page. We just seemed to be out of sync, et cetera, et cetera. We saw all of these things. Then we started having the others, and not necessarily us as a show, Jay, just the industry itself. Yep. Everybody was talking about how LeBron's had all of these coaches. You've never really heard him speak up for a coach, even though Rich Paul and them would say he spoke up for Ty Lue and stuff like that. We thought Ty Lue should have got the job. The Lakers shouldn't have been in a position trying to tell him to pick his staff, trying to underpay him, all of this other kind of stuff. We looked at all of those things, and we said, you take all of those things into account, this does not look good. That you got, like, and what I was saying on the air with Wendy last week and Molly was that couldn't have started it during the playoffs. Couldn't have started it after Darin Ham got the job. Did you have to start it in the middle of the damn season when he's on the hot seat? Because why? That's what some of the coaches were saying.
No, I understand what you're saying there, but this is where I have to push back.
Sure.
If LeBron didn't want Darin Ham as his head coach, don't you think there's other ways he could go about it rather than orchestrating a whole podcast with J.J. Redick? I mean, that feels
Let me say this. I am not in any way
very calculated.
I am not in any way accusing LeBron James.
You're just saying the look of it overall.
Exactly.
You're saying the optics after the fact.
Right. I'm not saying he orchestrated something to push Darin Ham out the door to get J.J. Redick the job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going there. What I'm saying is you are a person known for being mindful and cognizant of the optics. How could you possibly think that was going to look good?
NBA, what the Lakers can learn from the Celtics' championship success. The Boston Celtics have just secured their 18th NBA title, and their 2023-24 season made it clear they were destined for greatness. Consistent dominance throughout the season. With an impressive 64 wins and only 18 losses in the regular season, the Celtics topped the league. Their playoff performance was even more remarkable, suffering just 3 defeats. Game 2 against the Miami Heat in the first round, Game 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and Game 4 against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. This consistency, resulting in 101 games played and only 21 losses, was key to their championship run. The Lakers' struggles. In contrast, the Lakers' season was far from stable. They secured 47 wins in the regular season and had to fight for a playoff spot through the play-in tournament against the New Orleans Pelicans. In the first round of the playoffs, they faced elimination, unable to overcome their 2023 Western Conference Finals sweep by the Denver Nuggets. This led to immediate changes, including the dismissal of coach Darin Ham. Lessons in consistency and long-term planning. Boston's blueprint for success. Before this championship, the Celtics endured a 16-year title drought, with their last victory in 2008. However, they had been meticulously building a long-term project for at least 8 years. High draft picks brought Jaylen Brown in 2016 and Jason Tatum in 2017, marking the beginning of their return to elite competition. This duo has never missed the playoffs, showcasing the team's investment in young talent, stability and internal promotion. Brad Stevens, who coached the team from 2013 to 2021, transitioned to the role of general manager, bringing continuity to their strategic vision. Ime Udoka initially replaced him, leading the team to the NBA Finals in 2021, but was later replaced by Joe Mazzulla, who had been part of the coaching staff since 2019. This internal promotion maintained the team's stability and familiarity. Building versus assembling a team. The Celtics have focused on long-term building rather than short-term assembling. Most of their current rotation consists of players they drafted or who have been with the team for several years. Strategic additions, like Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday, addressed specific deficiencies and added experience to the roster. Lakers' approach: star power over development. Since Kobe Bryant's arrival in 1996, the Lakers haven't focused on developing homegrown stars. Instead, they've brought in established stars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. While this strategy yielded a championship in 2020, it contrasts with the Celtics' long-term building approach. Conclusion: the Boston Celtics didn't just assemble a championship team overnight, they have been constructing one since their 2010 NBA Finals appearance. For the Lakers to replicate this level of sustained success, they might need to shift their focus from acquiring star power to developing it. Embracing a long-term vision, investing in young talent, and maintaining organizational stability could be the keys to the Lakers' future championships.